We're going to start with a review from yesterday. So the top part of your notes, it says review from yesterday. Add the polynomials, write your answer in standard form, and then state the degree of the polynomial. So take a moment and do that. The first polynomial is 2x to the third plus 5x minus 8. The second polynomial is negative 3x squared minus 10x minus 1. Those are both trinomials because they both have 3 terms. If we're adding the polynomials, the parentheses really don't matter at all. So we're just matching up like terms. Start with your term that has the largest exponent. That would be 2x to the third. Does it have any partners? But that's negative 3x squared. Does x squared match x to the third? No. So that doesn't have any partners. It's just going to be 2x to the third. Now let's look for x squared. If we did x to the third first, next we should do x squared. And the only term that has x squared is negative 3x squared. It doesn't have any partners, so there's nothing to combine it with. Next we want to look for x's. We've got positive 5x and negative 10x. Those two match. They are like terms. So positive 5 cookies minus 10 cookies. How many cookies is that going to be? Positive or negative 5? Negative 5 cookies. Negative 5x. You owe me cookies. And negative 8, its partner is negative 1. What is negative 8 and negative 1? Negative 9. So our polynomial is 2x to the third minus 3x squared minus 5x minus 9. What is the degree of this polynomial? The degree is 3. Now remember, what is the degree linked to? The highest exponent. So the largest exponent is 3. That means it's a third degree polynomial. Next, we're going to write an example of each type of polynomial. We have monomials, binomials, and trinomials. Remember, monomials, mono is one term. So we need to write an example that has one term. So pick a number, 2. Pick a letter, x. Pick an exponent, 5. 2x to the fifth is a monomial. You could also simply write x, or you could write 2. As long as there's no addition or subtraction and you just have one term, you have written a monomial. A binomial, bi means 2, so a binomial is 2 terms. So I'm going to keep my 2x to the fifth. And to make it 2 terms, I'll add to that x squared. That is an example of a binomial, 2 terms, connected with plus. A trinomial has 3 terms. X squared plus 5x minus 2 is an example of a trinomial. There are 3 terms connected with addition or subtraction. Do you remember that stuff from yesterday? Good. Now today we aren't really learning anything crazy new. We're just going to subtract polynomials instead of adding polynomials. And we have a specific strategy that we're going to follow. If you see subtraction between the 2 sets of parentheses, I want you to put a 1 between the minus and the second set of parentheses. So stick a 1 in right there. This means negative 1 times the 3 things that are inside the parentheses. What's that property called when you distributive property? We're going to take this negative 1 and we are going to distribute the negative 1 into the parentheses. So first thing, I'm going to recopy the 4x squared plus 5. So start by writing 4x squared plus 5 from the first polynomial, the binomial. And now where we see the negative 1, we are going to distribute that negative 1. What is negative 1 times negative 2x squared? Positive 2x squared. And make sure you put a plus in there. Negative 1 times negative 1 times 2x, negative 2x, and negative 1 times negative 4, positive 4. And if you notice, all this negative 1 is doing is switching everything in the second set of parentheses to the opposite. So instead of negative 2x squared, we have positive. Instead of positive 2x, we have negative 2x. And instead of negative 4, we have positive 4. Now this problem is exactly like what we did yesterday. So what is the largest exponent? 2. Let's find anything that has x squared and combine it. 4x squared plus 2x squared is 6x squared. Next we would do x, negative 2x. I don't see a partner, so negative 2x. And then naked number 5, naked number 4, 9. Our polynomial is 6x squared minus 2x plus 9. Let's recap our strategy before we do example B. The first thing we're going to do is put a 1 between the minus sign, between the subtraction symbol, and the parentheses. So we've got our first polynomial minus our second polynomial. We are going to put a 1 between the subtraction symbol and the second set of parentheses. Next, we are going to distribute the negative 1 and then combine like terms. So our strategy is basically, we don't want to have to subtract. So we're going to distribute that negative, and then it's just like yesterday. We're adding polynomials, we're combining our like terms. Okay, let's go back up to example B, and let's try example B together. The first thing you need to do is put a 1 between the negative, between the minus, the subtraction sign, and the second set of parentheses. Okay, I'm going to recopy my first polynomial, 4x squared minus 3x plus 5. Once I get to the end of the first set of parentheses, that's going to tell my brain, pause, let's do something. We're going to distribute this negative 1. What is negative 1 times 3x squared? Negative 3x squared. Negative 1 times negative x, positive x. Could we put a 1 in front of that x? Absolutely. And negative 1 times negative 8, positive 8. And now take a moment, combine your like terms to write the answer, to write your finished polynomial. All right, this one's kind of nice because it has a bunch of pairs. So 4x squared, its partner is negative 3x squared. What is 4 and negative 3? 1. Do you need to write the 1 in front of the x squared? Is it okay if you write the 1 in front of the x squared? Absolutely. Negative 3x has a partner, 1x. Negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2x. 5 has a partner with 8. 5 and 8 is 13. Okay. Okay. There we go. All right, in example D, this says find the difference. If you ever see the directions find the difference, remember that difference is a word in math that means the same as subtraction. So find the difference means do the subtraction. So we're doing example D because I think it's the hardest one, and if we can do example D, we should be fine. I am going to recopy 2x minus 10. I'm going to put a 1 in between the subtraction sign and the second set of parentheses. I now need to distribute that negative 1. So negative 1 times 5x squared is negative 5x squared. Negative 1 times x is negative x, and I can certainly put a 1 in front of that, so negative 1x. And negative 1 times negative 5 is positive 5. Now matching up. Start with your largest exponent. The largest exponent here is negative 5x squared. And it doesn't have a partner, so we just have negative 5x squared. X's are next, 2x and negative 1x. What is 2 and negative 1? 1. So I have plus 1x, or simply plus x. And next, my naked numbers, negative 10 and 5, is negative 5. Our polynomial is negative 5x squared plus 1x minus 5.